afternoon and good evening, my beautiful, beautiful warriors, and welcome. I cannot believe we are already at the halfway point in July. Still time to bring the heat, but don't get lost in that surf, my warriors, because school shopping is right around the corner. And we have all sorts of great, brand new information that we're going to be bringing you today. This presentation is going to help our goddesses and Adoni become more knowledgeable and better equipped at creating advertising and promotional materials for their business. I know this is something that we are all dying to learn. We're also going to review some brand marketing aspects which will help you develop your customers' loyalty and brand recognition. We have such a great reputation in the business, so why not take advantage of that? So before we do that, let's do some shout outs because I know that we have had some very busy warriors this weekend. Sandy Carter popped her spa party cherry and hosted her first Heavenly Goddess party this weekend. Lisa Hoaxie had a $500 party and booked 3 parties for August. Way to go, Lisa! Elizabeth White, our lone goddess in Alabama, stepped into her warrior mode when her 9-month-old son was admitted to the hospital the morning of her party, and she still went and rocked her party for over $500. I can't even imagine how she did that. Elizabeth, way to be a warrior, honey. Sarah Sky Benoit, is it Benoit? Benoit had a Saturday afternoon party in beautiful Newport. What a beautiful place to spend the afternoon. And it was over $600. Way to go, Sarah.
Woohoo! And we had recently turned independent goddess Jennifer Madsen and beautiful Belinda Brides. They were both singing the $1,000 party song. And let's put our hands together for Marsha Sisson because she totally rocked her $1,400 party. Woohoo!
Oh my gosh, $1,400. That would definitely put a dent in the school shopping, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, speaking of putting a dent in things, I would like to hear the 411 on tonight's speaker, Amy.
Oh, well, you got it, baby. Well, I'd like to introduce everyone to Chuck LaDucer. He's our Director of Marketing at Athena's. He specializes in graphic design, photography, and video production. Chuck has been working in the creative industry for over 30 years. Well, maybe a little bit more. He's a typical type A creative person with a twisted sense of humor, and he's very friendly with aliens. He's a very big sci-fi fan. And he also enjoys gardening, writing haiku, and long walks on the beach. Not. But at 5'6", he is 140 pounds, and he rides a 900-pound cruiser motorcycle. And if you're thinking, 5'6", 140, no, his feet barely touch the ground. So, and Chuck also has his own recording studio, Red Dog Studio in Blackstone, Massachusetts. And he has been awarded 2 Emmy and 2 Grammy nominations for music production on several albums he has recorded. He is humble, but he's oh so lovable. It's our Chuck.
I'm getting all misty.
I think you're our first Grammy Award-winning speaker here on the Warrior program. I'm excited to have you.
Really?
Sure is.
Yeah. That sounds great. Cool. So, shall we just jump into this?
Yeah.
All right. The name of this particular session is called
Getting Graphic,
which was not what I really had intention.
Well, then why aren't you wearing pants, Chuck? I don't understand.
It's warm in here. It's about graphic standards and marketing materials and what you can do to improve them. And we've got lots of ways. The goal of this presentation is to help our goddesses and Adoni become more knowledgeable and better equipped at creating advertising and promotional materials to grow their business. We are also going to review some brand marketing points which will help you to develop your customers' loyalty. Now remember, customer awareness and brand recognition are keys to growing your business. Creating a family of marketing materials that tie to one another helps differentiate you from the competition and builds customer loyalty.
Right. I love that. I love you call it a family of marketing materials because it should all go together and kind of tie together. That's awesome.
Athena's corporate logo is your brand's most basic graphic element. It should appear on all your materials. Proportionally resizing the logo is okay, but it should never be altered or redrawn from the original. And please do not put hats on it. Consistency is important. All your materials, whether printed or posted on the internet, should graphically connect to one another. They should represent you and your business in a professional manner.
So, can we talk a little bit about why is the proper use of color so important?
Color is one of the most important components of brand identity. Now, brand identity is how a business wants its brand name, communication style, logo, and other visual elements to be perceived by consumers. It plays a large role in a person's memory retrieval. Our logo's corporate colors are purple and green. Purple represents nobility, loyalty, and power, while green is associated with nature and healing. Athena's particular colors can be defined very specifically using graphic design production standards. We will be supplying you with prepared artwork of Athena's logos in the back office that you can download to use for all your materials. There will be several versions and formats, along with a brief PDF document explaining the use of the different types. Along with the artwork will be some templates for flyers and Athena's banners that we normally use on our in-house materials.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, the most frequently asked question from the Goddesses and Adoni is, what software should I use to create my art?
Obviously, everyone works on a different device, such as a laptop or a tablet or a home computer, and it could be a PC or a Mac. That makes it difficult for everyone to get the same professional software to create their materials. So we have researched and found a solution for everyone. There is a website, www.canva.com, which is a free online design resource. It will allow you to create professional-looking materials such as printed flyers, postcards, posters, invitations, as well as internet graphics for social networks like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more. You simply need to sign in to create your own account and upload the files of the Athena's art we will provide. Take some time to explore the editing functions available with the program. The features are numerous, simple to use, and professional. I will demonstrate some of these features later in this video, so keep watching. One thing to keep in mind, the images and graphics that the Canva website have available are indicated if they can be used for free. The ones that don't have the free icon you can purchase from Canva for a small fee of $1.
So that's well worth it. I love that. And it's so exciting. They're actually putting up visuals. I hope our warriors are loving being able to see and hear for the warrior program this weekend. I'm really excited about that. The other most frequently asked question, Chuck, is can I download pictures from Google or any other browser that, I find online? People are like grabbing photos offline, photos that will work for me.
The answer to that is no. Nearly all the images you can view online are copyright protected. This means someone owns them, and you'd have to get permission and probably pay for them. But at the end of this video, we will provide you with web links that do have copyright-free images that are available for anyone to use without permission or costs.
More free stuff.
More free stuff. Free. It's for me. So can we take our own photos to use then, Chuck?
You also have the option of using your own photos. Our concern is that not everyone is trained and experienced in creating a well-lit, properly exposed photo at the size and resolution needed for a particular promotional piece. Once again, you want to present you and your business as professionally as possible.
Right, and so if we have a place to get those professional-looking photos, let's use those as opposed to something you snapped crooked and out of focus with your iPhone. Just throwing that out there.
Or from a disposable camera.
Or,
you know how to throw that in.
Yeah. Can you explain, Chuck, how you'd approach kind of a typical promotional piece? What's your process?
Okay, let's take a standard project like a party invitation flyer. Get out a pen and paper, make yourself a list. On this list, you'll want to prioritize the elements you'll be using in your layout. For example, photos, headline, body copy, logo, contact info. Each element should have a visual priority, or as it's technically called, a visual hierarchy. Now, visual hierarchy is the order in which our brain perceives and categorizes information. Creating visual hierarchy is an important process in creating an effective design. It will direct your audience's attention on particular aspects of your message. Let's discuss the layout. Make use of a grid system to organize all the elements. This will help with alignment and create a natural flow to the full layout. Color schemes. Think about the theme of the piece and related colors. And when it comes to using text on color, be careful how you put the text over a photo or color background. Make use of contrast to make the text readable.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's a good list. We'll share that list on the website too, so
Yes.
people can see that.
Cheese.
And if you're looking for good contrast too, you can always find the color wheels online, so you can kind of use the color wheel to find contrasting colors, which is really a helpful tool as well.
I'm really excited, especially about how this call is so visual, because just to hear this on a regular call, it would be going right over my head. But the fact that this is our first visual call, video, whatever, I know that I just kind of contradicted myself, but because it just speaks more to me. So I just want to say I'm really excited about this because it's the first time we've ever done this in the WOW series. So because I'm not so gifted as everything that you've just described, how do you know which typeface to use?
Normally, it's best to use only a few fonts on all your materials, including at least one serif font and one sans serif font or typeface. Serif fonts have feet on the ends of the letters. Caslon is an example of a serif font. Helvetica is an example of a sans serif font. These two fonts should be the ones you use most frequently. Sans serif fonts work well in paragraphs and most text blocks, especially on a computer screen. Both sans serif fonts and serif fonts can be reserved for headlines. You should avoid using more than 2 different fonts within the same document. Try and keep it simple.
Okay, so let's stop here. You guys can check out that visual while I give you the first code word. The first code word for tonight, this morning's call is ninja. The first code word is ninja. 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 Okay, and on we merrily go. I never really considered what kind of goes into creating a good, effective layout. So can you show us a little bit how to approach it, Chuck?
Sounds like a lot to think about, but it's really a simple process. And simplicity is really the key to a good design. Let me demonstrate for you using the Canva website. All right, this is the interface for the Canva website. These are some samples of things that I've played around with. These are templates that you can use to create a design. If you want more, there's plenty more to work with. All you have to do is click on one. It'll call up your area for editing and doing your layout. We're going to do a quick, let's go back to my designs here. Really quickly. Oh, let's go back to my designs. Let's take this one. I made this up ahead of time just to show you an example of how things work. You can upload from your sidebar here. You just drag your artwork right into this from your desktop or from your menus. You can drag them right in. I've dragged in a couple photos, some logos, and I've set up a page here just by doing a custom 8.5 by 11. When you do an 8.5 by 11, you want to keep white space around your layout because the printer will not be able to print the paper with the ink right to the edge. It would be costly, so they'd have to shrink the image down to make it fit. So anyway, my elements, as I talked about earlier, visual hierarchy. You want some things to be larger to bring people's attention to it. That's why I made this image here, this happy face, to draw somebody in. Headline, nice and simple, nice and big. So when you look at this, first thing you see is be your best, happy face, and you engage the reader, and they want to read more about what's going on here. And we have a product shot down the bottom with a little explanation about that, and your logo, and your information about who you are, whatever. Now, all this stuff can be changed. If I take the background, this comes up, I can change the color of the background. Very simply. Just like that. Headline. You want to remember to keep your text in contrast to your artwork so it reads easier. And I can even make this block a bit darker. I think I have the transparency set a little low, so I'm going to darken that up. So now that stands out a lot better than it did before. And with your body copy, you want to have enough contrast as well so you can read it. Let me zoom in a bit here. So black on that light color reads well. White on that color, not too bad. I might want to make this color a little darker, just so that reads better. And my black still reads well. Let's zoom back out. And like I say, any elements you're using, you can resize. Make them bigger. Change where they're located. Now, see what I'm doing here is making it bad, basically. There's my headline, there's my copy, here's a little photo. We don't know what this is doing, that's just a border. But you can see now that the layout's falling apart. There's no priority of information. So if we go back to where we were, done. Let's make her bigger. Here we go. Now that's much more interesting. And like I said before, you can change the colors of these shapes that you drag in to add interest to your layout. We could make it purple. And I believe the transparency is low, so we'll bring that up. Now that picks up on the color of the logo, which is nice. That works out pretty well. You can do the same with the top. Pick a color that you just used and get your transparency back up there. And I think I'd prefer this in white. So that's a very brief little introduction. Now, as far as what's available on Canva, you have grids, okay, that you can use to drop images and text in, and it helps you organize your page. You have frames. Shapes. Shapes are nice because you can just take it, put it on there, resize it, and make it very light if you wanted to highlight something in particular. Like maybe you wanted to put it over that. Besides shapes, we have icons, which are all free pretty much. We have lines. They do have photos. Some are free, most you have to pay for, so it's good to have your own. And you can search their library for, let's say, drinks. So here we have pictures of drinks. None of them are free, unfortunately. But you could, take that into your layout And, maybe it's a smaller photo of another product. So those are your options, and you have text. You can add text, put it where you want it. Put it down here. Make that white so it reads well. Change the font so it's a little more let's get rid of that photo. Let's get rid of that. The less is more. The fewer elements on your page, the better off you're going to be, because your viewer won't get lost in trying to find out what your message is. All right. So, and they also have backgrounds that you can put as your background instead of just a color. It's a cool program. And you can download it. Say I want it as a PDF. Not only can you download it, you can post it directly or email it or tweet it right from the program to where you want it to go. Cancel that. Let me go and get my download. You can see. There it is. There's my PDF. Ready for print. Hope that helps you out. I recommend that you do a lot more research on what this program can do, because it's really valuable and anybody can use it, and you can get very talented with it and very creative, and it will help you and improve your business. Thanks for watching. Now that we have a basic understanding of what makes a good solid layout, let me bring up one more important point to consider. It's called the emotional benefit. It does not have so much to do with the structure of the layout, but more the content of your message and how the reader will respond to it. Your message should connect emotionally to the reader. To really differentiate you from your competitors, you have to go beyond product attributes and connect emotionally with your customers. That's when you move beyond selling a product and becoming a brand. The emotional benefit is how you want people to feel about your brand, whether they use the product or not. It's the emotional benefit that puts the finishing and magical touch on your positioning. Without it, you'd simply have a product instead of a beloved brand. Okay, let's take a look at the skincare industry. While brands like L'Oreal, Neutrogena, and Olay have much the same product line and functional benefits, the emotional benefits and the brand positioning for each couldn't be farther apart. Take a look at their advertising messages. L'Oreal, because I'm worth it. The emotional benefit is confidence and self-esteem. Neutrogena, #1 dermatologist recommended. Represents security, the best available. Olay, your best beautiful. Represents achievement. While these product lines may differ, the fundamental product attributes and benefits are nearly the same. But the branding, the emotional benefit, couldn't be farther apart. By using emotional benefits to differentiate, each brand is positioning itself to appeal to its target audience and aligning to what's most important to them. That's about it for this tutorial. I'm sure I'll be getting questions from the field. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.
Awesome. This information has been really good, and as a marketing person myself, it's been like marketing porn to get this all out to the warriors. Chuck, we want to thank you so much. You're speaking my language. For an outstanding call tonight, and one I'm sure people are going to be listening to multiple times and watching multiple times.
Yay.
Yeah, and feel free to watch this more than once, warriors, because it's sort of like reading an article about a song. It's not going to work. You got to kind of see it to believe it. So, Chuck, we want to thank you so much for an outstanding call/video tonight, and I know our warriors have feverishly been writing notes Warriors, we ask you not to private message your questions to Chuck on Facebook. Please, please check the thread we have posted on the Warrior Facebook page for any questions you have for him. Amy and I will also be sending out some of his lists as well, so you don't have to ask those as questions. This is to avoid duplication of questions, but most importantly, to make sure that your question is not missed. And with that being said, Warriors, I'm going to give you our 3 action steps for the week. So, our 3 action steps are: number 1, check your current marketing material to ensure that it reflects our brand. Throw away what doesn't work. Look at it with a hard eye and chuck it out. Chuck it out, if you will.
Chuck it out.
Chuck it. Number 2, create a flyer. So with everything we learned today, create a flyer that utilizes the Athena's colors, now that you understand why there are colors, that utilizes the logo correctly, and that connects emotionally with your clients. And then action step number 3, mark up your copy and improve it. Every round of edits makes your final product better. So step away from it for a few minutes overnight, look back at it in the morning, check it, and redo it before you send it out to the general public.
Don't be in a rush to get it out there. Okay, Warriors, before I give you your last code word, please listen closely to the instructions. If you are listening to the call Wednesday, July 22nd, you have 2 things to do before going to bed tonight. Email wow@athenashn.com. In the subject line, you must put Warriors of Wealth. In the body of the email, you need to leave your name, your Goddess or Adonis number, and the 2 code words. And the last thing you must do to be entered to win $100 in free product is to go to our WOW Facebook page and post your aha moment underneath the thread. And we have pinned this to the top of the page with the 3 action steps for the week. Please do not post them randomly on the page. They will not count towards winning the $100 in free product. And Mother Goddess will draw a name later this week and post the winner in the group page. So you ready? Here's our second code word. Our second code word is Chuck. Our second code word is Chuck, C-H-U-C-K. All emails must be received by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, July 24th. But heck, Warriors never wait. We get it done. So till next time, everyone.
Good luck, Warriors.
Good luck.
Have a good weekend. Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you.
Just seeing some really nice posts out there.
That's right.
Don't let him down.
Emotional content. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.